Building Bridges Initiative releases eagerly awaited report which, among other recommendations, calls for a one-term 7-year presidency. Suspects linked to M-Pesa fraud nabbed by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. We're in Mombasa, where a program ran by the Kenya Red Cross Society and partner agencies is reducing the prevalence of HIV/AIDS infections and the rampant drug abuse in the region. A good evening and welcome to Breaking Today. I'm Lenny Rashid. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Michael Maidil. The 9th of March 2018 handshake that was born after a confidential meeting between President Uhuru Kenyatta and opposition leader Raila Odinga is slowly gaining momentum after the collapse of the Punguza Mizigo initiative drafted by Third Way Alliance Kenya under the leadership of Dr. Okuru Aukot. BBI has to this end released a report that, among others, calls for a creation of a prime minister post and making of Swahili the official language, hence a medium of learning at all levels of education in a bid to enhance the country's national ethos system.
Order number 7.
Famously known as the Building Bridges Initiative, BBI, the push is seemingly gaining support from leaders across the political divide, especially those viewed to be allied to the president and Raila Odinga. BBI had a view to resolve several issues it had projected to be major problems the country was facing. Among them is corruption, ethnic antagonism and competition, divisive elections, and lack of inclusivity. In its proposal to resolve the problems, which is the most development so far, BBI has released a list of ways of addressing the tackles. BBI is proposing for adoption of parliamentary system as opposed to the current presidential system of government, saying it will permanently address ethnic antagonism and competition, which has caused bloodshed in the previous elections.
Zamani tulikuwa na mtindo wa kufanya uchaguzi na baada ya uchaguzi watu wanapigana. Sasa tunaweza kaa na watu ya baba, ndio hawa, tunaweza kaa pamoja, tunaweza kula pamoja, na hii ripoti ya BBI ni kitu kizuri sana.
President Kenyatta also this month when launching the Westlands JKI Expressway also affirmed that the BBI report was soon being prepared for public discussion. During Mashujaa Day, Raila Odinga rooted for the initiative, saying it was the only way of bringing people together. In the same event, when Governor Hassan Joho invited Deputy President William Ruto, he kindly requested him to join the initiative. The DP, however, chose to keep off from the BBI debate, affirming his position as a major critique of the initiative seeking to amend the constitution. There have been reports of ethnic imbalance and other forms of imbalance in many government offices. To heal the problem, BBI recommends use of ready reports in custody of National Cohesion and Integration Commission to compel government ministries, departments and agencies to ensure inclusivity in ethnic, gender, disability and youth to permanently resolve the feelings of exclusion among Kenyans.
My party leader, Raila Amolo Odinga, I was one of the few people ambaye aliniuliza ushauri mambo ya handshake. Na kama hamuelewi, kuna watu ambao ni wagozigozi sana katika upande wetu. Hawajui amani, hawataki amani, hawataki umoja, wanataka siasa throughout the year. Tunao katika chama cha ODM.
The initiative has also called for the promotion of Kiswahili from just a national to an official language, making it a medium of learning at all levels of education in a bid to enhance the country's national ethos system. This would also make it mandatory for all original official government documents to be in Kiswahili. The report further proposes the creation of post of a prime minister who would be appointed by an elected president.
Tutaisoma kwa makini sana hiyo BBI. Lakini tunaangalia kitu kimoja, kama BBI inaongeza pesa masinani. Kama iongezi pesa masinani, tutaiangusha.
The Prime Minister would then appoint his or her cabinet to form government. This, to a section of politicians, has been interpreted as a way of taming the powers which the current president is enjoying, which a section of seemingly the deputy president's side is strongly opposed to, as Dr. Ruto warms up to aim for the seat in 2022. It now remains a matter of wait and see whether the report would come to pass. or not. Giverson Mana, Switch TV.
The Directorate of Criminal Investigations has arrested suspects linked to various cases of M-Pesa fraud. According to the DCI, the suspects worked with a group of security guards manning various different ATMs. According to the DCI, the suspect Robert Mora Muita reportedly recruited the officers and sent them secret withdrawal codes. Detectives caught one of the guards in the act and videotaped the suspect withdrawing money from Family Bank's ATM in Thika before taking him in. Investigations showed that the two security guards, Stanley Nyakundi and Godfrey Masinde Simeyu, had in September alone sent over 2.2 million Kenyan shillings to the prime suspect. The suspects are in lawful custody and will be arraigned on Tuesday, the 22nd of October, to answer to charges. Muslim women in northeastern Kenya are being encouraged to use modern birth control methods such as contraceptive implants or the pill. The Muslim religion allows the use of these methods in certain circumstances, especially if the health of the baby and the mother are at the heart of the thought process.
This is the family planning workshop in northeastern Kenya, a poor and conservative part of the country where most people are ethnic Somalis. Only 2% of the population here use contraception, compared to the national Kenyan average of 58%. Women are often married before the age of 18.
I started to use family planning to be in better health, and so my children will be in better health. Before I started spacing out my children, I was very unwell. At the start of pregnancy, I would get sharp pains during childbirth too. Today, I'm much better.
The improvement to Safia's health is largely thanks to the awareness program launched by Save the Child in 2014.
We sensitize them on importance of family planning, that is importance of child spacing. We sensitize them on effect of early marriages. We also sensitize them on effect.
But getting their message across is challenging. In Somali culture, large families are a sign of wealth, and the average woman gives birth to 8 children.
African culture, people used to get several wives and get a lot of children. So they are seeing this as a foreign ideology, foreign idea, in order to limit their number so that they can colonize them.
The program's message also clashes the religious norms, with many believing family planning is forbidden by Islam. The NGO seeks to help all influential leaders to help combat reservations. Following several weeks of reflection and after receiving the blessing of her husband, Fatuma has decided to use contraceptive implants.
Using family planning is a personal decision, and given that my religion accepts it.
After just 2 years, the results from the awareness drive are encouraging. Like Fatima, more than 3,000 women started using contraception this year, more than double the number from the year before. Violet Kwamboka, Switch TV.
Hundreds of fishermen and traders around Lake Naivasha have petitioned the national and county governments to intervene over the planned closure of the largest landing beach and corridor around the water body. With 1 week to go before the Karagutia landing beach and corridor is closed as per court order, they noted that hundreds of families could be affected. The High Court has termed the corridor as a private property and ordered that all traders and fishermen stop any operations by next week. This came as the former chairman of the beach, David Kilo, moved in to convince those operating on the beach to move out as per the court order. Kilo, who is among 3 others who had been charged with trespassing on the land, said that they respected the court order and were ready to move out. He admitted that the closure of the landing beach would have adverse effects on many who relied on the lake to earn their livelihood.
Tunahimiza serikali hivi kwamba kumekuwa na hali ya taharuki kuhusiana na hii barabara, na kweli sisi kama viongozi katika sehemu hii tuna wasiwasi kwa sababu umri ambao utaathirika pakubwa ni vijana. Tunashindwa vijana wataenda wapi, wengine wamechukua mikopo wakanunua pikipiki, wengine wamechukua mikopo wakanunua boti za kubebea watalii, wengine wamechukua mikopo ya kufanya mambo mbalimbali kuhusiana na shughuli katika ziwa Naivasha. Tunahimiza serikali ya Lee Kinyanjui, hii ndio wakati uongozi unatakana uonekane, uweze kusaidia vijana, kwa sababu vijana wa eneo la Karagita sio vijana wa kuomba. Hawa ni vijana na nguvu zao, wana ujuzi zao za kufanya kazi katika ziwa, na la muhimu ni kupata njia waweze kufanya kazi yao bila wasiwasi wowote.
Sasa sisi tunasimama imara tukitegemea hii beach, na serikali nayo tunataka tujue vile inaweza kutusaidia. Juu serikali ndio inasema inatafutia vijana makasi, na hii beach ni moja yenye imetafutia vijana kasi. Na kasi ya sasa ndio wanateteza na wanataka wafuge. Vijana wetu wataenda wapi? Hapa serikali iangalie sana.
Hii barabara ikifungwa, wale watu wataumia hapa ni wengi sana. Ukiangalia hapa vijana, wamama na wanaume wote wenye wategemea hii beach, nimesema ni zaidi ya watu 10,000. Kutakuwa na wizi kwa hii area yetu ya Karagita, watu watapata shida, watu wenye wanalisha familia kwa hii mboma, kwa hii beach ni wengi sana, na hii beach inategemea zaidi ya watu milioni 20. Ukianza kuanzia hapa beach wenye wanauziwa samaki kuanzia Nairobi mpaka kule kwingine kote.
We're taking a short break now, but when we come back, we'll be going to Mombasa and bring you a feature dubbed The Heroin Fix, courtesy of Diana Rose. Keep it switched. Welcome back to Breaking Today. People who inject drugs have contributed to new HIV infections in the country. According to the National AIDS and STI Control Programs, NASCOP, there are over 18,000 drug injectors in the country. It's against this backdrop that the Global Kenya, in collaboration with the Kenya Red Cross, have funded programs that distribute needles and syringes amongst drug injectors in a bid to curb new HIV infections. This story first aired yesterday night, but due to public demand, we are set to rebroadcast the piece. Our reporter Diana Rose Odhiambo visited Mombasa's miserable drug dens and now brings us this report.
The stench reeking from a typical drug den is unbearable, isolated, unkempt, and a major health hazard are the hallmarks of the informal rooms where the once able-bodied young men and women come to intoxicate themselves, or in common parlance, to get a fix to shoot up. The dens, commonly known as Maeneo in Mombasa County, are the hotspot of wasted generation, a generation of youth who have lost hope in life and will do anything to get at least an injection of heroin into their system. Mombasa is a coastal town in Kenya that prides itself internationally as the best tourist destination in the region. The sandy beaches as well as the unique Swahili culture are features that one looks forward to once in the city. However, in the midst of all this, a generation of young men and women have been ensnared by substances that take no prisoners. This is one of the numerous drug dens in the county that is almost a no-go zone for the general public, owing to the nature of activity that goes on here. Many have run away from their families and choose a street life after being hooked to drugs and substance abuse.
Wacha ngependa. Wasawi maisha pia kidogo takatuache.
At 54 years, Heir Bilali Heir never thought he would be a drug addict, but due to peer pressure, he now lives in regret. Friends encourage him to indulge.
At first ni kitu nilikuwa sitaki kutumia. Nikajikata niko middle of this game, sikujua ilitokea vipi, yani mpaka nikajikuta kwenye uraibu wa unga. Stress, everything, nini. Ikanifanya mimi ndio niingie kwenye mazingira haya.
Heir is not the only senior citizen on the streets. His counterpart Abdul Karim Gulab has been to the rehab severally, but each time he comes out, he relapses back to his old habits.
Until now, I'm using a syringe to my leg now. All the vein of my hand is not okay about shooting.
Only recently, the Kenya Police Service declared an all-out war on criminals and drug barons. Prominent businessmen and politicians were arrested and swiftly arraigned in court in the dragnet that followed soon after. The dens, which ironically are termed as safe havens by both drug peddlers and users, have occasionally been raided by police officers who have found that the would-be users are in one way or another engaged in crime.
Kuligwa utafutana na wale wauzaji wa maunga, wale wanaolete wanatafutana na zizi wafutaji.
Naima Said Nasib knows these too well. At the age of 17, she found solace in alcohol and marijuana. This, however, escalated to heroin use. Nasib dropped out of school due to lack of school fees. She then turned to using drugs as a form of escape and to cope with her reality back then.
The pain that I was feeling while I'm selling things with my mother, I see my fellow students passing by, coming from school. They are telling me what they did at school, which I know, if I was there, I could have caught it, you know. Maybe they could come and tell me, there was a competition, people won, you know. I felt pain. So I started taking out pain with cigarette and marijuana.
She ran away from an approved school she had been booked in. The need to feed her drug habit was paramount to all other things. Alone and unguided, she transitioned into commercial sex work. The goal? To get money to sustain her addiction.
The only thing was my body, you see? And that's how I ended up HIV positive. And I could not receive my menstruation period for 10 years.
Latifa Said, on the other hand, was introduced to drugs at the age of 11 when one of her classmates, who was a supplier, talked her into it. She would sneak out of school and hang around the beach in caves that provided space away from prying eyes in order to indulge.
So, wengine hawakushika haraka, lakini I was the best kwa sababu mimi nilikuwa nashika vitu haraka sana. Hata mimi ushika sana kila kitu haraka. Sasa mimi ndio nilikuwa next, nikachukua ile 4 wheel, nikamwambia niashie na mimi. Nikapiga. The moment nilipiga, nikimaliza nikinuka hivi, nilianguka tu chini kwa mchanga. Wakakuja wakanimwagilia maji wakaniamsha. Hawakutaka kujua kama nilikuwa nime overdose hawajui ama nini, but I woke up. Nilipoamka I felt so good because yani for the last two hours I didn't know what was happening. Alafu nilipoamka nilisikia vizuri manake nilipata usingizi ama sijaipata.
This continued even when she was in high school, something that saw her drop out of school eventually as she could not concentrate in class and educational activities. Said engaged in crime to get money to help her keep up with the addiction.
Nilikuwa najua mpaka kurauka asubuhi wale watu wanaenda msikitini. Okay, kuna watu wanaenda msikitini, mbaba anaenda msikitini anaacha mama watoto wamelala. I used to open the door na ingia polepole. Nikiangalia nachukua simu za watu, nachukua pesa zile mama ameachiwa na ngorota na waruka. I used to do that. Hizi magorofa zote nimeziiba.
According to 2018 data by the Joint United Nations Program on HIV/AIDS, UNAIDS, there were 46,000 people who were newly infected with HIV in Kenya. And an increasing number of heroin addicts were also reported to share needles and engage in unsafe sex, hence driving up the HIV rates. These are identified as key populations, termed by UNAIDS as female sex workers, men who have sex with men, and injecting drug users. The category has the highest risk of contracting and transmitting HIV, yet they also have the least access to prevention, care, and treatment services because their behaviors are often stigmatized and even criminalized.
With the support from United Nations Office of Drug and Crime, we managed to do a very good, intense research with Professor Ndete in Nairobi, and we gathered almost 120 people who were injecting. And what was shocking at that time was 50% of those who tested were HIV positive, and 75% of the number were hepatitis C positive.
Even though implementation of the needle and syringe program faced resistance from the onset, Daniel Waliama, a nurse at the Reach Out Center Trust, says cases of new infection have drastically reduced.
So we have what we call the utility gloves, which are much heavier enough. And then we have those cans that we use to collecting the syringes and the needles. Remember, with that, we have lessened the likelihood of injuries emanating from the unsafe disposal. Not only the injuries. Remember, an injury, yes, can happen, but at the same point, you are likely to contract an infection from that very needle if it were not well collected or well disposed.
44-year-old Murad Swale is a field supervisor with RCT. He joined in 2013 and attests to the fact that many families have been broken, lives lost, with many grappling with regret. Swale is one of the lucky ones. He too was in the same position.
So nilikuwa nikiambiwa, wewe tukupe mwezi mmoja tu utarudi. Ilikuwa ikinitia hofu. Lakini before sijatoka kwa rehab, nilikuwa nikifanya kitu kimoja. Nikiamka usiku watu wamelala, mimi naamka na swali nalia kwa Mungu wangu. Naomba Mungu wangu, kwa hisani yako naomba unisaidie. Nimeteseka kwa miaka mingi sana. Nisaidie tu ili mimi nisiweze kurudia. Hiyo ndio iliweza kunipa mimi nguvu na moyo mpaka sasa kuweza kuwa clean.
Swale's relationship with his family was strained and it has taken him 6 years to rebuild it.
Nilikuwa sina raha, hata kuongea na yeye saa nyingine huwa nakasirika. Mara nyingine hata kufuatana naye njiani pia huwa nakataa, maana nasema wanitia aibu. Nimejaribu mara nyingi sana ili atoke kwenye mihadarati.
Through the harm reduction program, the peer-led model has added immense value to the project, whereby a team of peer educators and outreach workers, having identified drug hotspots, are deployed to provide comprehensive HIV services.
Na huwa nawaambia every shot you have to use a new needle na you don't have to share. Mimi I'm there to bring you this needle every day. Na you can see ziko 3 kwenye pakti. Kwa hivyo when you get 2 packets utatumia mchana mzima, si ndio? There will be 6. Wakishatumia wananiwekeaga mahali kama hapa, wananiwekea hapa used ones. Unasikia? So na mimi kuna yule ambao unajua uwezi client wote hawezi kuweka hapa ndani. Sasa mimi upitianga after kama washamaliza duty ya asubuhi, sasa nikishamaliza kupeana health education, manake mimi nikienda maeneo stoki haraka, I have to give health education. Kwanza unieleze good practice, how they will shoot, siwa shoot kwa mshipa mmoja sana. Okay, no, I have to show them how they shoot themselves, nini. Niwaelezee vitu vingi, maybe how to use condom, nini, niwaelezee mambo mengi. After that, it will take like 2 hours nikiwa pale maeneo. Kwa hivyo kama kuna wale wa kujidunga washajidunga. Kuna wale ambao hawalazimishi kufanya vile unavyotaka. Kuna yule atafikiria kuwekea kisha leo ataweka kwenye box. Kuna yule anawacha pale pale. Unaelewa? Sasa this inanisaidiaga, ninashika shindano nikitia kwenye box. Hii ni bunduki yangu ya kushika na nimevaa gloves na gloves zangu kila kitu. Huwa sishikangi na mkono.
So we make sure we go to the field frequently to get the feedback from the beneficiary, from the community, and also engage time. In the evening, we also, because we live within this locality, we also pass by and talk to them.
It is now understood globally that in order to reduce the spread of HIV/AIDS to 0, key populations must be given priority attention in the national AIDS and STI control programs. NASCOP's recent mapping of key populations across Kenya show that they are too large to ignore, as there are 133,675 female sex workers, 13,019 men who have sex with men, and 18,327 people who inject drugs. All of them live and interact with the general population. Through Kenya's Global Fund HIV grant, Naima has managed to rebuild her life. The salon she runs has become a beacon of hope for many who knew her before now. For users and drug addicts, the peer educators and various programs meant to save them from the brink is offering hope to those caught in this dark web a day at a time. Dana Rose, Switch TV, for the Heroin Fix.
Shifting gears to sports now. Jubilee's candidate in the Kibra by-election, MacDonald Mariga, has unveiled his sports manifesto and commitment ahead of the elections scheduled for next month. Mariga, who is a former Kenyan international, promised to improve the state of sports in the constituency if elected. He also promised to empower youth through sports by having good facilities to promote exceptional talent. The event was held at Woodley Grounds on Monday as Mariga joined other party members in a football match.
Na tumekuwa tukisaidia vijana wetu wadogo under 16 waende shule, wazazi tukitoa tunawapatia pesa mzuri ile wanaweza jimudu kishule, kwa sababu namba 1 tunawapatia 1 million na tuko na wanadada na ya vijana boys. Hiyo tunasaidia ndio waende shule, na hizo pesa tukitoa tunapatia direct kwa families, tunapatia wazazi ndio waende walipie watoto wao shule, na tumeifanya sasa for long sana. Tumesaidia hiyo, si kitu hatufanyi. Sasa ndio nimetaka kulaunch ingine sasa yangu binafsi hapa, kwa sababu hiyo ni yangu na ndugu yangu Wanyama Royal Charity Cup. Hiyo ni yangu na ndugu yangu. Sasa nataka Kibra ni launch yangu peke yangu, ndio niweze pia kutoa hapa talents, kwa sababu hiyo ya Wanyama Royal tunaifanya Nairobi mzima. Tunatoa vijana kila slums, matimu kila slums, tunawaleta pamoja, tunaifanyia hapo hii shule. Kuna shule moja inaitwa hapa St Mary's, tunaifanyia St Mary's hapo, ni hapa tu karibu, I think ni Lavington. Hapo ndo tunaifanyia. Sasa nataka kutoa Kibra, wana Kibra peke yake ndio tuneche talent.
And that story brings us to the close of the bulletin. But before I do so, just a reaction to the story that we aired earlier on the Heroin Fix. Irene from Mombasa says, hello Lenny, I'm watching the Heroin Fix from Mombasa. It's a serious thing that is happening around, not only for the kids, but young adults. We should do more education on the use and effects of these drugs. Let's keep the conversation going. SMS your views and comments, 22299, our Twitter handles as always, and on our Facebook platform. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. From Michael Maivia, our sign language interpreter, myself, and Antoinette Dede, our news director, and Mike Nicholas Ndwati. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. Keep it switch.